Today I'm going to be taking this wall behind me and turning it into a chalkboard wall. As you can see behind me, it's got a little chalkboard on it already, but I want that entire wall to be chalkboard so that I can be artistic. So let's get into it. What's up guys? Welcome back to my channel. So today I am in my not so beautiful kitchen because I am starting a new series and I'm gonna call it Ugly Apartment Therapy. I live in what I consider to be an ugly apartment. What ugly as it may be, I stay here because I live in LA, and when you have rent control, you do not move, especially in the current rental market. Being that I live in an ugly apartment and I don't want to move because I enjoy cheap rent, I have been wanting to fix it up and do a couple things around the house to sort of make it into a house that I feel like is slightly a beautiful apartment. I hope this video helps anybody out there who also is a renter like me who lives in a less than aesthetic place. This series is going to be great, inexpensive ways to sort of upgrade your place and hopefully not get in trouble with your landlord. Make sure before you do anything to your apartment that you check your lease, make sure you're allowed to do it because I don't want to get you guys in trouble because of me. All right, so you're gonna need some things for this project. First of all, wear something that you don't care too much about. I'm just wearing this, you know, Mustang t-shirt. Next thing, you're going to want painter's tape, chalkboard paint. I am using the Krylon chalkboard in black, and I don't know what happened to my can. Amazon shipped it to me like this, so thanks a lot, Amazon. I'm also going for the option to do a primer underneath the chalkboard. Now, apparently you don't need to have a primer if your surface is already painted, but they do make magnetic primer paint, and so I kind of wanted to do this so that maybe I could put magnets on that wall too. I don't know how well it's going to work, but we're gonna try it and we'll see how it goes, okay? You'll also want a roller brush. I've got some small roller brushes just in case that was better for this project. We will see. We'll need a paint tray. This small paint tray. And doesn't hurt to have one of these little foam paint brushes as well. According to the Chalkboard Paint Company, they advise against using brushes like this, although you can, but this might give your finished effect like those brush stroke looks, and I don't think that's what people go for when they do chalkboard paint, so that's probably why it's better to go with the roller. You'll also want to have a drop cloth. If you're worried about hurting your manicure, it's nice to have some gloves handy. If your wall goes up pretty high, it's also helpful to have a step stool of some sort so that you can reach. My tall strong husband is at work today, so definitely need this. And it's also not a bad idea to have a rag handy just in case you spill anywhere you shouldn't for quick clean up. Okay, let's start painting. So you'll want to make sure that you clear everything away from the surface that you're about to paint. Because this wall kind of goes into this recess, I'm going to have to move all of this stuff and my microwave for this project. Before we even get started with the primer, you want to take a sponge with some soap and warm water and clean off the entire surface so that it has a nice clean surface to apply all the paint on. Let's get cleaning. Whew. All right, now that the wall is all cleaned, we need to give it a little bit of time to dry. And while that happens, I'm going to tape off everything that I don't want the paint to get on and get my drop cloth ready and get all my paint and brushes ready to go. Didn't have any paint sixer, so I found an old wire hanger. We're going to take our magnetic primer paint, give it a good stir. Oh my god, it's so thick. Ugh. Oh, this stuff is serious, guys. Already spilling things. going to take this little guy, pour our paint in there. Okay, this is like really thick. What you have to do with the magnetic primer is you have to give it at least, they say 3 coats is ideal. This doesn't seem like a whole lot of paint, so I know I'm not going to want to put magnets all over this entire wall. So I'm going to concentrate my paint in the center, and I'm going to just sort of see how it goes, like how it spreads, and from there, if I feel like I have enough to cover the whole wall with this primer, then I will, just so there's a primer, but we're just gonna see how it goes. Coat number 1 is done. Whew, I have worked up a sweat. I'm gonna start my timer for 30 minutes, which I have to wait for the first coat to dry so I can do the second coat. I might go start my laundry while I wait on this. So see you again in 30 minutes. All right, it has been 30 minutes. Time for coat number 2. I'm gonna try to get it on quickly as possible because then I have to wait another 4 hours after the last coat to put on the chalkboard paint. So I don't want this project to go too late into my day, so let's make it happen. Okay. Oh my God. Really? So I have magnetic paint all over my face. I think I've gotten the base pretty good. I've done 2 coats and then I went back over into like sort of the middle area of the wall and like painted it on thicker. I almost used that entire small can. Some instructions say to use the whole can. I just don't really want to do that. Obviously it's just the base, so I didn't like go crazy and make sure that it's perfect around the edges, but now I have to set my timer for 4 hours and then we can go in with the chalkboard paint. Now I may wait and do this tomorrow because 4 hours from now is 9:30 p.m. and I don't know if I'm going to have the energy or the will to paint that late, so I might have to continue this project tomorrow. So learn from me, and if you're going to do this whole thing, it's probably better to start it in the morning because I started at like 2 o'clock and now I'm in this position. So let's see what happens. All right, so I am back and it is the next day because I did not want to paint the chalkboard paint so late at night. So I'm doing it today. So the wall is ready to go and I'm just going to fill up my paint tray with the chalkboard paint and hopefully we will just get this done super quickly because I'm not using a tiny roller brush today. That was a mistake. Don't do that. Got this bad boy today. Give this guy a little stir. Pour it in the tray. Okay, so now I've basically got it all painted. I have to go around the edges with a little paintbrush and get those little gritty parts done. I already did the top because I figured once I was already up there painting, I might as well just get that done while I was there. So far, so good. All right, first coat is completely done. I've got all the trimmings trimmed up and all that jazz. So we're gonna let that first coat dry for about 30 to 60 minutes and then I'll come back in. You will need 2 coats for it to be a chalkboard finish, so we got to do another coat. And while that's drying, I'm gonna go to the gym. So it has been 3 days, actually. It's been more than 3 days. I let the wall just sort of sit for quite a while. You have to wait at least 3 days before you can touch it. Then the next thing that you have to do before you create your chalk works of art on your wall is you have to cure the wall. So what we're gonna do, for this step you wanna take some of your chalk. Probably you wanna get like a big piece of chalk that's not too worn down, and you're gonna take it on its side and rub it across the wall, and that is gonna cure the wall, and then wipe it off and your wall should be ready to go. One mistake I definitely made that you guys should not do is I tried to take my painter's tape off a little bit too soon. I went to take probably when the wall was dry to the touch, maybe like 5 hours after I painted it, and that was a mistake. You really want to probably let your painter's tape sit there until you do this next step. That way it is fully cured, because when I tried to peel it off a little bit too soon, it kind of like flaked off the paint on the edges. So I had to touch it up. Don't do that, just be patient, let it sit, and let's cure our wall. Okay, that process makes a mess, so I would advise you, if you have stuff in your kitchen that you do not want to get completely dusted in chalk, move it out of the way. But I'm gonna go ahead and just wipe off all that chalk, and now the board should be primed and ready to go, and you can start putting some really cool chalk messages on your wall. I want to show you guys how the magnets work. So little flat magnets like this work really well. There's our save the date. Aren't we so cute? This one, not so much. Kind of sliding. Okay, that's like more in the middle where I painted the magnetic primer a little bit stronger. These like big magnets, that's a no-go. Lesson learned. Small flat magnets, yes. Big chunky souvenir magnets will not work on the magnetic primer. Now that my chalkboard's ready to go, I'm gonna put a little mural on there. I'm creating a post for National Tequila Day, which is next week coming up. So I'm gonna do something tequila-ish there for this post that I'm trying to create. So let's see how I do. This chalk mural was for a fun campaign that I did with Herradura Tequila last summer. And I think it's actually a really cute idea for grocery lists, or if you're a YouTuber yourself, might be a cool idea for a backdrop for your channel. There's just so many possibilities with a chalkboard wall. I would suggest only using regular chalk on this wall. I did try to use chalk markers, and I have found that those really only work on a real chalkboard. So don't do those unless you want to repaint your whole wall. I hope you all enjoyed this video and gave you a little tips and tricks on how to make your own chalkboard wall. It's seriously so easy, and I love this addition to our kitchen. It's going to be so fun to change this out from time to time and season to season. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't already, I'd love it if you would subscribe and stick around for all the other content that I have coming your way very soon. I definitely have a lot more plans for some fun, ugly apartment therapy videos in the future. So if you also want to fix up your not so cute apartment, hit that subscribe button. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye.